And our guest for today is none other than the Vice Chancellor of Quaid-e-Azam University, Islamabad. He is Professor Dr. Muhammad Ali. Professor Dr. Muhammad Ali is not a small name. He has earned laurels for himself, for the country. He's earned many prestigious awards. He's a recipient of Damba Imtiaz as well. We will be talking to him about all the achievements that he has done so far. But we know for sure that ever since he joined in as a Vice Chancellor of Quaid-e-Azam University, things have turned around. Things have been going in the right direction, because we know things were a bit chaotic, but now things seem to be a bit streamlined. They've started to go in the right direction. How has he done it? What are his leadership qualities? How has he developed those leadership qualities? He's earned this pinnacle that he has achieved, this pinnacle of a post that is being a Vice Chancellor. How did he get here? We will be talking all about that. So welcome to Sky's the Limit.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Saab, first of all, we'd like to know, we know that you were born in Jhang, right? And you belong to, your background is rural, basically. Having a rural background, studying this far, going abroad, we also know that you went to the University of Wales, you also went to the US. What made you expanded your horizon that you wanted to go abroad to study, coming from a rural background? Because we know that people who are raised in, or maybe it's my perception, that people who are raised there, they perhaps stay there or like to stay in the villages. They don't really go far, or even if they go far, they mostly go to the nearest urban center. But you, on the other hand, took a different turn, and I mean, you went to Lahore, you went abroad, earned your degrees. How did that happen?
Thank you very much. I think it's the determination which takes you anywhere you like, and I'm one of the examples. And so it doesn't really matter that you are from rural background or you are from urban background. It's the will, it's the hard work, it's the determination. And maybe if you are in the right sort of a people, then you can rise up to any level. And as you said, that I come from, I was born in Jhang district, and later that village became a part. There was a new district emerged that's called Chiniot. So my village is now in a Chiniot district.
Right.
And then my early education was from Jhang. There's a school, Sacred Heart School. And then I went to college, Government College Jhang, for my FSc. And then I went to FC College for my BSc, and then MSc from Punjab University. And then I started teaching. I started teaching at Lawrence College, Murray. Stayed there for 1.5 years, and then I went to Bahauddin Zikri University, Multan. And teaching, I chose this profession, it's by choice. Because right. I was a good communicator. I had a lot of, love for the Sufi poetry. And when I was a young boy, I used to I was a debater and make speeches in different public gatherings. So I thought that I could make a good teacher, and I am. And then never looking back. So from there, I got a scholarship funded by Government of Pakistan, went to University of Wales in Aberystwyth in UK, did my PhD, returned back. And then after that, I started a lot of big research projects. Up till now, I've supervised 27 PhDs. They have completed their PhDs, and almost more than 60 master's MPhil students. I've done a lot of research projects. And teaching was always my forte, so I loved it. But while I was working in a university, I always had a very strong view that the university professors must work with the students for their personality development. And by virtue of that, I did a lot of work in Bahauddin Zikri University, Multan, as a professor, as a chairman of the department, as a director of the institute. and as a president of the sports of Bahauddin University. So I did a lot of work. I was able to organize a Punjab Youth Convention, which was of all Punjab, performing arts festival at a national level. And I'm a professor of biotechnology, biology. But I headed a musicology department as well, because I always believe that we need to be linked with our heritage, with our culture, with our art.
Plus, it's a means of expression.
Certainly. And then I have a lot of interest in Sufism, because I think that the Sufi teaching is a very, very important component of culture of this region. And we must acknowledge it, and we must learn through that. So this was a long journey, but I was very successful as a teacher. I was very successful as a researcher. And then I headed departments or institutes. I remained as a registrar of Bahauddin University as well. And then in 2014, I was selected as Vice Chancellor of Government College University, Faheem. That's a large university, but it was relatively new. And I got a chance to, the dreams which I had in my mind, to materialize those dreams. So I was successful in building an entire new campus of that university, the new campus, and build state-of-the-art departments, the laboratories, the student teachers facilitation center, and a huge auditorium for the dramas and musics and all this. And then, lot of sports facilities, parking areas, and a full university at the level of no lesser than any private university, but that is certainly a public sector university. And I established a huge, very big business incubation center there, a career counseling center, and was able to develop a very strong relationship between the business community of Islamabad and the university. I also was successful in establishing a state-of-the-art school of art and design at Government College. And with the collaboration of the industry, it was a huge success that most of the students were recruited by the textile industry and fashion industry while they were studying. So I think this is a major thing, that are we producing good quality graduates, and are they employable? Do they fulfill the need of the market? Are they able to contribute in the economic development of the country or not?
True.
And after completion of 4A, when I look back, I think I was quite successful during my tenure there. And then because of the work which I did there, I was picked up as a Vice Chancellor of Qaeda University in 2018. And here I am. I have completed 3 years. And this university had problems. But like you said, I actually believe in participatory management.
Right.
So I am very good in creating a team. And I believe that the organization cannot be run efficiently and effectively without the participation of the stakeholders. So I make a team and fully empower them, and then support the decisions which they make.
Because I was about to come here, since you have a lot of love for Sufi poetry and their philosophy, have you tried to implement that in your life and in your students' lives? Because you have been teaching. Before being a Vice Chancellor, you were a professor. And naturally, a lot of responsibility lies on the shoulders of a professor, because whatever he or she says, that directly influences the students. So how has your experience been being a professor? Because I'll come to the Vice Chancellorship later on.
I always believe, like I said earlier, I always believe that only teaching of a particular subject is not a responsibility of a professor. Professor has to be beyond that, and he has to even teach his students how to carry themselves, how to talk, how to dress, manners, tolerance, peace, history, everything. So, and and I always believe that we have to train our teachers to be a mentors, not teach.
Yes.
And how can you do the mentoring? Just I was teaching, for example, a developmental biology or cell biology. So, if I'm teaching only cell biology, then a robot can do it, or even internet can do it. So, where is a human touch? Where is a mentoring? So, I think that you have to be very interactive with the students. You have to develop confidence among the students, and you have to train the students to be a good human beings, a good Pakistanis, a good Muslims, and on top of it, the two major important things which we have to inculcate among our students is compassion and tolerance.
True, very true. Because I myself had the experience of teaching a university class, and I did it for a few semesters. And what I found there was the last 10 minutes of my class used to be, something or the other from the practical world, because people expect that it's going to be a utopic world with no problems. But then I used to speak about that.
Yeah.
And some of them used to oppose that in the sense that, perhaps our teachers should be focusing more on the subject matter. So, talking about opposition, when you became the Vice Chancellor, it was quite chaotic at the Azam University. There were groups, there were segregations. And I had just a tinge of the experience of facing opposition from a very small group of my students. How did you tackle so much segregation? Because Quaid-e-Azam University is said to be a mini Pakistan, because students from all over the country, they come to Quaid-e-Azam University. It's wholly and solely based on merit as we know it, and the ranking is quite good if we compare it to the rest of the universities in Pakistan. How did you manage? How were your leadership qualities so good that from a chaotic scene, Quaid-e-Azam University went into a state of serenity and went to the path of development?
Well, even in a teaching, I believe in a student-centric approach rather than, the teacher-centric. So it means more interactive form of a teaching. I'm a firm believer. And here I also try to develop the same thing, that we have a student-centric approach, we have a teacher-centric approach. So I made teachers a part of all decision-making and took them on board whenever we are going to make any decision. They are part of my administration, and all important designations are held by the faculty. And we try to focus on a student-centric approach where we try our level best to facilitate and accommodate students. And if some of the time, if they are more aggressive and they're more agitative, still I have a very strong tolerance limit. I can tolerate anything. I always remain composed. And this is what I believe, that you have to be very tolerant. You have to be very respectful. And like I said, the most important quality of any human being is compassion and forgiveness, because some of the time they use a very strong language, the faculty, even the students, which hurts me, but I always remain very, very, tolerant and calm, and because this is part of, this social media, and there is no limit to it.
True.
But being a public figure, you must have a big heart. So
True that, true that. Talking about being composed and being calm and forgiveness, we would also like to know what kind of a father you are, because we know that you have 4 sons and a daughter. And how is your relationship with your children, and how is your wife's relationship with your children, and how much a contribution have you made in raising of your children?
Well, this is, you know, I have two daughters and a son. My two daughters are elder.
I stand correct.
Yeah. And my wife is also in educationist. She heads a Beacon House school. And my eldest daughter did her master's from Exeter, and she's currently doing her PhD from Amsterdam, and in anthropology. And she's a very bright, brilliant student. Her PhD is fully funded. Rather, she has a job there, so she's getting paid, and she's working. Yeah, yeah. The younger one has recently done her master's from Nottingham in business, and she also is successful in finding a job. So she will start a job, perhaps she's coming back in first week of March to stay with us for 1 month, and then she'll go for her job. My son is in A levels, and he is he's brightest of the three. He has all A stars in his O levels, and now he's in A levels. And I'm very friendly. They are, like I told you, that Sufi has this concept of Tamma, Mana, Jama, and Chama. So Mana is, I don't stop them from anything. I am a more, you know, friendly as a person. Mother is more disciplinarian, and she has a major role in raising them and keep them, you know, more disciplined. And so in raising a children, I would say that it's 30-70. My role is 30 because I was more busy. She is a great support. She was she's a professional person, but she finds more time for raising the kids. But I am more fortunate in terms of being their friend. So I am more of a friend. So in our house, if you look at the typical Eastern structure, it's other way around. I am like a mother and she is like a father. So any hard decisions or discipline, or even, you know, if she has to reprimand them or shout at them, she is the one who will do it. They are afraid of her. They are not afraid of me at all. Everything which they want, any favor which they want, they get it through me. And if I want to, you know, stop them for something, I'll always ask their mothers. So I am their best friend. And anything which they want to buy, anything expensive or anything which they want to spoil themselves, it's me. And mothers will never give them a chance to. So this is how we raise them, but we are very fortunate that they are very bright. And two of them are now professional, and the third one is on his way. He is more into this computer science and IT.
I see.
So
Now, also, being in the field of teaching, being in the field of being a professor, and then a vice-chancellor, it must require a lot of time. How do you maintain that work-life balance?
well, I will add one more thing into it. As a parent, as a professor, I am very much active in research. I still do a lot of research projects. I supervise a lot of PhD and MPhil students, because that's you know, that's the instinct of a professor. I enjoy doing it. I like you know, all three different theses of my PhD student. And so I do spend some time. That's my hobby. That's what I like. That's what I enjoy for my favorite pastime. And then this running a university, I feel very, very satisfied and contented that I've done in an Urdu poetry, मेरे चार अगर को नवीद हो सफ़े दुश्मना को खबर करो जो कर्ज रखते थे जान का वो हिसाब हमने चुका दिया. So if people come and they have been assigned with some duties, I always find that I've done my bit and I'll keep on doing it. So I spend a lot of time in promotion of this university, in funding finding funds for this university, providing us state-of-the-art facilities to the students and teachers. I also am a member of the statutory bodies, meaning thereby the syndicate, board of governors, and the selection boards of more than 50 different universities in this country. I am a member of even Vice Chancellor Search Committee in Islamabad, in Gilgit-Baltistan, in Kashmir. Right. So I do a lot of, as a member of the selection board to appoint Vice Chancellors. But in addition to it, I have a very big farm. And I love farming as well. So I find a time. I have never rented my land. So I inherited a lot of land from my father. And I'm a very progressive farmer. So I do a farming as well. So that is a fourth thing which I do. So I always, keep myself busy, and I like it. So
have you also implemented any recent research on which is being done on agriculture in your farm?
No, because I'm not an agriculture scientist, but my farm is a very modern mechanized farm. So I learned it from my friends, and I also searched through Google to how to do farming. So I do quite progressive farming, but because it's a profession of it's my family profession. So I never left that. My father died when I was a young boy, but I still, keep on farming, and I enjoy it and make some money out of it as well. So the major part of my earning comes through my agriculture farm. Although the job which I do and my wife do, she also hails from a farming community, so she also inherited a farm. So I look after her farm as well. So we basically have two farms, one in Chinyor district, other in Khanewal district. Brilliant. So I think this is what life is all about if you keep. And the other very important thing which I am blessed in my life is I have a lot of friends, and I always find time to spend with my friends. So that's the social capital which I have. So I always find myself very rich man in a way that I have so many good friends.
We must do a separate program on time management.
Certainly.
We should learn from you as far as time management is concerned, because these days what everybody lacks, as far as I know in my circle, people lack the time.
I think you're right, because I also listen to music a lot. I watch TV a lot. So I think you have you sleep for 8 hours, so you have 16 hours, and if you can manage your time. I do exercise every day, and even if you work, the maximum work which you can do is 8 hours, then you start losing your concentration. So you have 8 hours to do the things which you like. I think people are lazy, or maybe, and then you grow very old quickly. But if you have some goals in your life, and you want to, I think that I'm in I've crossed mid-50, but I think I have a lot of time still. I have many things to do. I want to work for the government for promotion of the higher education. And maybe once I'll be done with the government service, I might go and work in a private sector. And so I think one has to keep on working. And it is us in subcontinent who feels that if you cross 60, you're old. In West, it's just a middle age.
No, that's the best thing.
So, well, I can go on with the conversation, but would love to visit the university and different departments of the university and interact with your faculty members as well. So, if you'd join us along with it.
Yeah, we'll take you around. We'll show you the Student Facilitation Center and Business Incubation Center. We'll let you meet with the students and faculty and show you around the campus. You'll like it.
That's going to be great.
Well, entire concept is to provide all such services in one window.
Right.
And it has different aspects. One is once the students, they want to take admission in university, they can come here and seek all the information that the departments available. They can even consult the counselors that which is a best program for them. And the
So
other
it's
thing,
also for the pre-admission
it
students.
could, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So like I said, it has three different, So pre-admission, they can come. They can, people come with something in their mind. And here people would tell them that this particular subject has more value in addition, whatever they are thinking. For example, someone wants to do a pharmacy, and the counselor tells her or him that you could go to microbiology or biochemistry and the job prospects in the market. So this is pre-admission. Once they are admitted, they can get an advice that if they have any problem and they want to change their disciplines, this advice is provided. And if they want to seek a foreign admissions, we can also help them for a foreign admissions. They can even go for a student exchange program for a semester or for a few weeks. The other is the career counseling, that once they are in their final semester, we can help them how to search job, how to write their CVs. And the other very important function here is that the university, in addition to their classroom teaching, it has an outdoor teaching program, meaning thereby that they're being trained to be a part of different societies. And that function has been run by the Directorate of Student Affairs. There's drama, music, art, culture, Naat, Kirat, sports, whatever. So this platform will also assist them
The extracurricular activities.
for extracurricular activities. So the personality development, as well as the career counseling, as well as the academic advice, or any other, they have psychological issues, whatever the problems. So, and they want to seek any information. They want something from the administration head office. So from here they can actually find out that which office they exactly want to go, and they want to have a result card or the degrees. Or so instead of going in different places, they'll just come here and they'll get an advice.
So this department even has a psychologist for the students who may be going through a lot of stuff.
Yes, we provide the services of a psychologist, and primarily the career counseling.
Brilliant.
How to find jobs. How we will organize the job fairs.
Do people also integrate with the industry?
Yes, yes. And then adjacent to this, we have a business incubation center. So all students are not looking for a job. Some of the students actually desire to establish their own
thing.
business.
Right.
So we also provide this facility that they can start, they can have an advice mentoring if they have a business idea, and they can come into our business incubation center, incubate there, and we can arrange a venture capital for them through the industry. So they have an idea, they don't have a money. So we can assist them to find a person who will invest in their business idea. So just adjacent to this is a business incubation center.
May we take a look?
Yes, we can. We can take a look, because it's we are refurbishing it, but I'll show you.
Sure.
Yeah, and then we are also establishing a science and technology park. It will be huge, mega, where the different companies can come and they can have offices. By virtue of that, they will provide the internship to the students, as well as students can find a job through.
And in that software technology park, do we have exhibitions of different innovations?
It's software technology is a part of that science and technology park. So on one side, you have a software technology park, meaning thereby that only the software companies are accommodated there.
Right.
In our science and technology park, in addition to software technology, the other technologies would also be included in it. Somebody, for example, some people from milk industry wants to establish their office there. from IT industry, from agriculture, from manufacturing, maybe art, music, drama. They want to have their offices there. Will provide that.
I think that's a great initiative because it will help other universities also take such initiatives so that more value can be added to the degree that people are getting.
Certainly, that is number one. And number two is, frankly, the graduates which we are producing, we have to focus on the quality of the graduates, that they are employable and they fulfill the needs of the industry, local industry. And up till now, people are just looking for government jobs. But you cannot accommodate 500,000 students passing out every year. And if the government jobs are around 20,000, so what will happen to other 480,000? So we have to look at the alternate ways. And one is the business, the startups. Other is the private companies and maybe self-employed, and they can, go for an online earning.
Now, viewers, we have some students here, and with us right now we have Anab Fatima. Anab, you're a student of Quaid-e-Azam University, and this is the Student Facilitation Center that we're in right now. Professor Saab gave us details about that. As a student, how do you find that? How much has it facilitated you? How much cooperative has the staff been towards the students, if you might share it with us?
It is a very good opportunity for us. It's not only for the student who is still here. It is also very important for the who as student pass out as a business opportunity, and they are very cooperative. This department is very cooperative for us because they are give us very career counseling cell and different affairs about if a student are stuck in any subject, or if they cannot choose any subject, how we will be move in our academic life. They guide us in. This is a very good opportunity, I think so.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
It's great to see how the mindsets are changing, first from the government sector, now to the private sector, and now towards the business environment. Yeah. Yes, that's brilliant. May we have a look?
yeah, please.
Yeah. So this is a huge campus that we're going through. What would you say, what's the strength of the students and the faculty?
Well, this is almost a full sector of Islamabad. We have 1,709 acres of land, and a very planned, purposeful campus. We have a central library, which has been made a center point.
Right.
And then we have an academic blocks, on all sides. And, it's all in steps, so it's been created like a world-class university. And the student, primarily it was a research university. Now we have started a very strong undergrad program as well.
So this is the sitting area of the library that we're in right now. Sir, what would you say is the total strength of the books that we have in the library?
250,000, 250,000 books we have. But this is a center point of the university.
Right.
It is one of the halls. We have a hall upstairs. We have a specialized hall inside as well. We have a digital library as well, which is of millions of books.
Right.
But physical books are also, I think, very, very useful. We must encourage students to come to the library, read books. As you see that there are students sitting here doing their classwork. So I think this is a strength of this university, and students they use this facility. It's centrally air conditioned, and all sort of facilities are available.
So when it comes to books and libraries in this era, digitization is something that is a must. That is something that has become a must because obviously things need to be preserved. And right now, as we're watching here, this is seemingly a very old text that we're watching here. Could you shed some light on the digitization process of your library?
Well, I think this is one of the very important projects which we are running in collaboration with a Turkish NGO called TIKA. And we are digitalizing all these books. We are scanning. This is an old manuscript, handwritten, and we'll scan it and then preserve it in a digital mode. We are also scanning all, the old scripts, manuscripts which are available here. We are also scanning all the, the theses, MPhil, PhD thesis, and they will be available online in a digital form. So I think this is one of the way of preserving all our, historic books and any arts and crafts.
And research is something that is inevitable in today's era, and people have to take advantage, and they need to benefit from such brilliant and bright students that we have in Quaid-e-Azam University. True. So here we are in the conference room. We have a lot of faculty members here. Do you often have these meetings with faculty members off and on a regular basis?
Not very regular, because they are mostly busy in their classes and research, but we do have some meetings and at the start of semesters. But we do have all the deans of the faculty here. So primarily they look after the academic side of the university, and they actually conduct a very regular meetings with the head of departments and the faculty of the relevant faculties. And then we have, some, meetings of our authorities, like the Advanced Studies and Research Board, where all these senior professors, they join. It's, I think, once every month. And then we do have Board of Faculty meetings, and then Board of Studies, and then Academic Council. And then eventually we have a Board of Governors, which we call a syndicate of the university. And all these are the senior professors, head of departments. And so we do meet regularly.
And has the citation rate always been like that, or has it increased in your tenure?
It has always been like that, but certainly the ranking of the university, it has improved. It has improved, and that's, I think. And then it has been done by the independent agencies. It's not, by our local. So they just pick up the citation, and if you want to really check the work of any faculty member, you can only assess through the citation, because how many other researchers are actually, citing that research. So that has been recognized by the other scientists. So that is a very important parameter. And like I said, that we are trying to now link this research with the industry. And that's why we have established this career counseling and the business incubation center. And we are also in a process to establish a huge science and technology park. And that, the research is only beneficial when it comes out and contribute towards the economic development.
So shall we go and have a look at the sports ground?
Please.
So viewers, here we are in the football ground of Quaid-e-Azam University, and here we're watching students playing football in the background. I'm sure you must be watching. So sir, Quaid-e-Azam University is doing a lot, not just in the curricular activities, but also in the extracurricular activities. Here we are watching the students play. How far do they go as far as sports is concerned?
They are actually preparing this training camp for inter-university, and we participate in all different events, inter-university events, and we have a very large share of winning the medals.
I see.
But I'm very pleased to tell you that some of our students play at the national level, and some of our students in squash, badminton, they also play at international level. So they are very active, and they do a lot. We have a lot of sports facilities. This is one ground, but we have one of the best cricket stadium and cricket ground in Islamabad, there in Quaid-e-Azam University. We have a gym. So, and I have a mission that, and I know that the discipline is very important, the health is very important. And we have a largest share in the civil services, Quaid-e-Azam University. it's not only the studies, but it's this sports and co-curricular. You see students playing basketball, all games, at the same time. I'm sure that they'll win a medal. And we win a lot of medals in HEC level, in the inter-university level, international.
National and international, like you mentioned. It's
Some
brilliant,
of our students
brilliant.
are international.
Because obviously, a university is not just supposed to make you learn things and just focus on rote learning.
Yeah.
These things are also equally important.
And some of our female students are international players.
Oh, lovely, lovely. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. Now, shall we proceed, sir? Right, so Asifa, we're watching that you guys are working here on something, but we don't know really what. So, being a student here, could you shed some light on what you're doing here and what you're working on?
Assalamu alaikum. Actually, we are working on our lab is Bioremediation Lab, and we are working on simple some soil samples that are contaminated with metals. Firstly, we digest our samples for the metal detection. Different metals we are working here, like nickel, copper, lead, cadmium, etc. So then we detect different contaminated soil in which we detect that different metal concentrations are present. Mostly, our focus is on the agriculture soil that we are working on, and beside this, we are also working on the pesticides and PCBs and many contamination that are present in our Pakistan. So actually we are working on the bioremediation of soil and water.
So right now we're in the Microbiology Department at the university, and sir, that is your specialty, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I'm professor of biology, but nowadays it's multidisciplinary. So I specialize in biotechnology, but microbiology is also part of it.
Right, and you also work as, I would say work, obviously, because this comes as an additional responsibility. You're a research supervisor as well.
Well, I'm supervising Farishta. She's my PhD student. And I think it's an instinct of our professors that we cannot get away from, from research. So I'm very excited to work with her. I have other students as well in this university. But it's part of our... it's not part of my duty, but it's part of my instinct as a professor and a researcher to keep on working.
Because being a Vice-Chancellor, it's not a small deal. It's a huge deal. It means a huge deal of responsibility, a huge deal of work. How do you manage the time?
Well, I think, like you said, that you enjoy a few things. So working with the young people, with students, and looking after their research, and I think it's something which I always cherish. I was a Vice Chancellor at Facilitation. I supervise almost 10 students, and they all are now very well placed. One of my students is associate professor at Oxford University.
I see.
So I think it's an additional work which you do. You supervise students and then help them to find good jobs.
Well, you must feel very satisfied and proud. And here, viewers, we have Farishta. She is an aspiring PhD student, and her mentor is Professor Dr. Muhammad Ali. And we'd also like to ask her a few questions, if she allows us.
First, microbiology is a huge field, and we should work on this field to know the basic of biology. Yeah, and with sir, he's a honorable teacher, and I would love to learn from him and work with him. He's a very nice and humble person, and all in our department, my co-supervisor, our chairperson, all the teachers, they always support students in their work, their thesis, and in all moral.
Oh, it's great to know that you have such huge regard for Dr. Saab. Great
Thank
to know
you.
that. Thank you.
Thank you.
quite a visit, I must say. So many departments, and I'm sure there are many places which we have not visited yet. And we would love to cover that as well someday, but the main areas we did visit, and it was simply, I must say, a pleasure going through Quaid-e-Azam University, because I had never been here before. And knowing that it's going in the right direction now, you're taking everybody along, it's wonderful to know that Quaid-e-Azam University is under very able leadership. So thank you very much. It was an immense pleasure being with you today.
Thank you, Faheem, for coming to Quaid-e-Azam University. I hope you like it. And there's a lot more to show, but next time I think we'll take you. We have 6-7 Center of Excellences here. And because it's so large that we were able to give you a flavor of it, and look forward to inviting you over sometime again and showing you the other aspects which are left in future.
So not just the university, but other aspects of your personality as well. We'd love to cover those as well. Well, viewers, thank you very much for joining us. This was Quaid-e-Azam University, and I'm sure we've just touched the tip of the iceberg. And I mean, inshallah, if we are allowed to do so, we will be doing that. We will be covering that in the future as well. More aspects of Quaid-e-Azam University and more aspects of Dr. Saab, because obviously we had just started speaking about music, but then obviously we had to run and see the other areas because we were short of time. But anyway, it was an immense pleasure, because such people are rare. Such people are rare because anybody can come and take and resume the charge. But who is a leader? A leader is someone who takes everyone along, who takes everyone's opinions, who takes everyone into consideration and makes them part of the decision-making process, makes them part of what's going on, so that they may feel powerful, they may feel entitled, they may feel good about themselves, because that is the way that others' self-esteem is increased. And Dr. Saab has done the very same thing. That's why Quaid-e-Azam University now, the ranking has increased. The faculty, of course, we see that it's one of the best faculties that we have in Pakistan. And it's our prayer and our wish that Quaid-e-Azam University goes leaps and bounds in the future as well. Thank you very much, viewers, for joining us. Keep watching PTV World.